This is the NAMM Show. Straight off the stage, making it as an indie artist is Michael with SunflowerDead. How are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
Doing fantastic, man. Thanks so much for coming down. Always great to not only spread what you do, but also give back because, you know, like myself, we've been around, you know, music for so many years, but we've seen the industry completely evolve. And a lot of these younger artists and younger bands don't have some of the tools, don't have that infrastructure, don't have some of the things that we took for granted. Now it's very much DIY, very much, you know, entrepreneurial. Tell us about, you know, your latest record and a little bit about that journey, you know, coming to this point.
Well, it took, you know, the new record, It's Time to Get Weird, really, honestly, is the culmination of 3 years of hard work on our own with no help from anyone. And putting ourselves out on the road in front of bigger bands, luckily that we were able to get on those tours, and figuring out what works for us and what doesn't, you know, and learning along the way. And I sat there and took notes all the time, like, you know, that didn't work, or this was great, this is what people were responding to, this seems a little more honest than that. And we just kind of sat there and just, you know, put that all together at the culmination of those 3 years and said, this is the kind of record we want to write, these are the kind of songs we want, this is the band we want to be, and these are the people we want to work with. So all those experiences that happened, slow and steady, like we talked about earlier, all led into us working with Dave Fortman, who did Evanescence and Slipknot, and Mikey Doling, and creating what we feel is the best record of our lives from all the bands we've been in. You know, it just is centered and focused, and it's exactly what we want it to be. And it happened from just going step by step by step and learning about who we are and what works.
Well, that's so much about it, is not only evolving into all that you can be, but appreciating the steps along the way to know what works and what you're looking for.
Right.
You know, the Cinderella stories, everybody thinks, you know, it's magical, somebody discovers you and then you're famous and then you're rich, you know. Yeah. And especially these days, it's more about really enjoying the journey, the steps along the way, getting these guys to want to produce you, putting together your team, making the songs the way you want it to be, and really giving your fans and finding the ultimate fans that would really appreciate what you feel is your best work. You know, talk about that these days where, you know, you're able to kind of have that creative freedom and not have somebody kind of molding you or telling you what to do, but, you know, you're envisioning in your mind the band you want to be with the songs you want to do and the team that you want to grow, and then exponentially, you know, kind of making one step into the other.
You know, it's a double-edged sword, I think, because I still believe in, when it's done right, the idea of having a label and artist development and all that stuff. Artist development doesn't exist in the rock and metal world anymore. You have to do it on your own, you know, and if bands aren't willing to do it, they just stay stagnant. Even with opportunities, they never get better, they never grow. Where before, if you were on a record deal and a label, for the right reasons or the wrong reasons, were pushing you to something, they were pushing for development. And when it worked, it was amazing. When it didn't work, it was heartbreaking. But now it's like you have to do it on your own. Well, we did. That's what we're all about, constantly doing that artist development. That's why I have to surround myself with people that are bigger and better than me at this, because I still believe in that professionals are professionals something for a reason. You know, it's why I had to be with a Dave Fortman, because doing that Evanescence record that he did, the two that he did, you know, to me, it was so phenomenal the way they turned out for what I wanted our band to be. I was like, I need to learn from this. And that's why, and everything with our management, John, and our PR team, I listen to them, I learn from them, and I pay attention because it's all about development. You know, nobody, even artists that were huge on their first try, still develop as their career goes along. Whether it's successful or not is a different story, but you're constantly developing. And if you're not, you're stagnant, and what's the point?
Yeah. I mean, you look at these bands, so many of these classic rock bands, or even a band like Metallica, they've been around for 35 years, but they're still evolving.
Sure.
But now they're making an album on their own label, on their own terms. There's no rush.
No rush.
It's like when we have the songs, when we have the sound, that's when it's coming out. You know? And that old machine of a label telling you, we got to have it out in 6 months, man. We got a tour set up. We got to be out there. You know, MTV wants to play, and it's like, Why? How can you rush greatness? You know what I mean?
It's going to come when it comes. It's the Wild West right now. The music industry is the Wild West.
Yeah, of course.
That's why you can, if you're a smart businessman, all they've ever done is say, where is there a need? And they capitalize on that need. And right now in music, I feel it's the same way. You know, there's a lot of people down on rock and metal and whatnot, and the fact that money's not being put into it. But I feel like wherever there's a void, there's a need. And if there's a need and you're smart, you can capitalize on that need, not just for greed, but for artistic purposes, you know? And I think that's important.
Oh, sure. When the big boys pull out, it gives the independents little niches like, wait a minute, you think people are just going to stop listening to metal or hard rock or, you know?
There's not as many outlets like there was ever that easy, which I think there's a disconnect with the fans. They still think it's the same outlets. They don't realize that those outlets have been wiped out for rock and metal. That they don't understand when they're not hearing their favorite rock metal band on the radio. That's because that radio station's probably gone. They just think it's still there.
Right.
There's a disconnect.
Yeah, they
with
think
the fans
Headbangers
still.
Ball is still on.
There's definitely a disconnect. But at some point, that will switch over. It always does.
Yeah. Well, I know with your band, you have a very strong visual component.
Sure.
You guys are over the top. You're out there. You got the accordion you pull out. I mean, talk about how you kind of visualize the band that you wanted to be.
I mean, it started with the simple idea of we wanted to just entertain people and entertain ourselves at the same time, because like I always believe that whether you have a look like ours or you have a look of jeans and t-shirts, like that's your look. We're like Nirvana's look was their look, and it still was a look, you know. Everyone says, oh, this band doesn't have a look. Everyone has a look. For us, it was we wanted to entertain people. That's all it was. And I think that's exactly what we do, you know. And I think there's a void in that music of just going to see a band and being taken away from the doldrum of your week. You know what I'm saying? You know, even though lyrically I'm still very sincere and the band is very honest musically, we're trying to have you kind of come to a different world when we play. Have a little bit of fun. You can be serious, but have some fun. Enjoy yourself.
Escape your everyday world.
Escape it.
Your 9 to 5, your spouse, or you know, whatever challenges you have. You know, music has always been that outlet to kind of, you know, step outside the box, and whether it be for that 40 minutes or that hour and a half show or whatever it is, man, you know.
That is my outlet.
Sure.
People always ask me for advice, you know, like local bands or whatever. And I say this, I said, look, everyone knows how hard it is. It's real simple. It comes down to want and need. If you want to do music, quit. There's no point in wanting to do it. A lot of people want to do a lot of things. Forget about it. If you need to do it, you have to do it. Sometimes I don't even want to do it. I need to do it. Then it's for you. Because you're going to do it regardless. Whether the music industry is flourishing, whether nobody cares about it, you're going to do it. Me, my whole life, I have to do music. I just have to. I can't go a day without it. And that's it. If you want it, go be a doctor. But if you need it, you have to do it regardless, then it's for you.
Well, it's coming from the heart. Michael, tell us again the name of the album, where people can find you on the web, how they can get you a new record.
The name of the album is called It's Time to Get Weird. You can find us all over the web, SunflowerDead.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google us, YouTube, you know. In fact, on Monday morning, Yahoo Music is debuting our new video, It's Time to Get Weird, the title track. And it features Jonathan Davis from Korn singing with me. And it's an animated video, so it's like SunflowerDead and Jonathan in a Scooby-Doo cartoon. And it's really twisted and cool, and we're super excited about it. And he loved it, and it's really awesome. So.
Well, Michael, we love your band. Thank you so much for coming out, NAMM. Really appreciate you giving, you know, knowledge, giving back to the bands. Let's keep music alive. Can't wait to see you guys out on the stage.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.